Welcome back to another edition of Perfume Plus. I'm your casual perfume consumer, Lamar, and I'm joined here today with our whiz in the biz from Perfume Plus as well, Mr. Ken. Mr. Ken, thanks for having us.
No special.
Okay, and we're here today in Kololo, fabulous Kololo outside here, and we're here to talk about this beast of a fragrance here. This one is Nishane Hacivat. All right, so we're here to talk about this perfume here and just give it a little bit of some identity here and separate it from the rest of the perfumes here. First of all, well, let's get a look of this perfume and what it looks like here. The bottle, the box,
Yeah,
and whatnot.
it looks very interesting. The box itself, it comes like a gift. Like everything in. I highly think it's really highly recommended. I like the packaging. I like the size of the bottle. I like how everything looks like it.
Indeed. I think that the size of this bottle is the first thing that I recognize, because if it's going to be an extrait of parfum and it's this small, the ingredients of this perfume have to be pure luxury. Okay, so maybe we can talk a little bit about the background. Where is this perfume from?
So, Hacivat Nishane is an amazing fragrance, actually from the Turkey, to be more precise, Istanbul, Turkey. And the maker of this fragrance is Joe Lee. This fragrance was introduced, I think, early 2017, and it's one beautiful fragrance that I think it's up there in the market. The maker Joe Lee, that is 2017. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so now we're going to we're going to go right into the perfume here. So if we're looking at this, let's talk about the breakdown of this perfume. How does it open up?
Oh, the perfume is very interesting. It opens up with a nice projection, that is that bubble projection of pineapple. I think we're going to talk about the opening notes, right?
Yes.
So when we look at the opening notes, we look at it has a nice pineapple scent that comes up. There's some touch of grapefruit in between. So it comes up with a very harsh in the beginning, apple kind of scent, like it's a little bit of grapevine. But in between the middle, there's an interplay that then you start kind of seeing there's a patchouli coming in. You start seeing some cedar coming in. But the most interesting thing I like about this perfume is the dry down. Why is it because of the dry down? You look at it from the dry down because you see now this is where oak moss. And oak moss is one of the most fantastic. You find oak moss and bergamot that is really very nice dry down in the fragrance.
Very nice. So we're talking about in the opening, we have a fruity opening here with that pineapple, some of that apple, some of that tangy fruit.
Patchouli in between, the grapevine in between. Yeah.
Right. All right. And then again, can you just say again, in closing out the dry down again?
The dry down is oak moss. We're looking at oak moss and the wood in the background.
Oak moss and wood in the background.
Yeah.
Okay. So how does this fragrance perform?
The performance is quite good. If you look at the sillage is quite there. In terms of longevity, I'll give it about 12 hours. 12 hours, 10, 12 hours. It's very good base performance. A little bit 2 or 3 hours.
Let's talk about the identity of this fragrance here. Now, this fragrance is known to have beast performance. It's versatile, it's sexy, it is quite authentic, it's very sweet. What would you say about the actual performance in depth here?
Actually, if I look at this fragrance, I would give it, this is a real piece of art. When you look at this fragrance, you can see there's a very nice artistic work that has been done. When you look at it from the depth, when you look at it from the layering, when you look at it from the beginning of the fragrance, look at it, you talk about from the opening notes, then you find there is a good captivating. I like the point where you find there is some superseding scent that just comes out. You find the pineapple really taking the dry down, and you feel the oak moss coming.
And that's exactly. So I don't mean to cut you off, but that's exactly what I'm getting. As soon as I smell this, I'm smelling the pineapple. The pineapple comes almost a little harsh, but the sweetness overrides the harshness. But I do get that pineapple vibe.
Yes,
and now
it's a beautiful pineapple. Now the citrus kind of scent is
and the citrus draws that in too. Still in the opening there.
Yes, and then you start seeing the captivating, the layering is coming down.
Yes.
And now you start talking about, now you start looking at it from the essence of the oakness that is coming down. I think in a second you're going to about to see.
Probably, I'm sure that it will, but also we're talking about the ingredients of this. I can still see a shine on my arm, on my wrist
No,
here.
of course,
And
it's an extra perfume.
absolutely. So,
Yeah.
and I'm starting to. We're still, we're kind of moving around with this, but I'm starting to get that vibe of like the oak moss a little
Yes,
bit,
it's
getting into the body of this of this perfume. So now with this, would you call this perfume? Is this a men's perfume? Is this more of a unisex perfume or what?
No, this is quite unisex. Reason being, it's look at the grapevine and look at the patchouli in it. If you look at the grapevine in it, if you look at the pineapple in it, so it's a safe line. It's a unisex. It's any day, anytime. Anyone can wear it.
Okay. And now speaking of anyone, what kind? If I'm thinking about buying this perfume and other people, men and women are buying this for men, for me because we're men. What kind of man is this fragrance for?
This is looking at a man in office, a black tie, very nice environment, very clean environment. Because remember, it's a very clean scent, not very offensive. The citrus, as you can see, the citrus is coming down,
Yeah.
and now the oak moss is taking place. So I think it's a beautiful scent for office. Office, a very versatile scent. You can wear it anywhere. Great complementator.
Whatever it was about the harshness, it's completely gone. It's very soft and
Yeah.
just like you said, very elegant.
Fantastic scent.
Ken, with this fragrance here, Hacivat,
Yes.
can we draw any comparisons to any other fragrances, and maybe some other designer or niche fragrances that this one might be closely related to?
Yeah, there are quite a number of fragrances because of the citrus kind of it, question the citrus bit of it. So very many people have seen bringing the comparison between Creed Ventus. So for a lover of Creed Ventus, this is one scent that I highly recommend because it gives you the vibe of Creed Ventus because the citrus kind of nature in it. But again, more the pineapple vibe, which makes it more interesting. So I think when you put them with Creed Ventus, there's quite a bit of competition in between. But I'll still go for this. But Creed Ventus is still. But there's good comparison. But again, another interesting fragrance that I would compare with this is the Cedra Boise by Mansur.
Ah, okay. All right.
So the Cedra Boise has that a little bit of citrus, but then the lemon is a little bit high.
Okay.
Compared. So but it lacks the bulk. It lacks the longevity that this can really give you.
All right. Out of 10, I'm gonna give this a 9. I'm gonna give this fragrance a 9 because again, the quality of ingredients is there. But I'm giving it a 9 because it is unisex, and honestly, I want to keep this to myself. I can't imagine sharing this with my wife. This would kind of drive me nuts. So I would want something that's more in my identity, and I can't share my identity with my wife. But it's a 9. The ingredients are there. The originality is there. There are other designer fragrances that smell somewhat similar to this one, but the quality is top notch. Not even the king of fragrances can top this one. So I would give this one a 9. What about you, Ken?
I'll give it a 10 out of 10.